Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks. Week 14 is here. Week 13 is in the books. Last week I went 2-2 on my video, 2-1 on Twitter. Seems to be the norm. When I just go over even, minus the juice, I'm still ahead. 53% for the year. As for our pool goes, not much change. West Coast Martin did jump in the top 6. We got Dijon at 862 points. Red Hot Lady 25 at 781 points. Let's Take the Moon's Money, that's Geo, 780 points, who I beat in fantasy last week. Crazy Thing 6, 779, West Coast Martin. Glad you joined us, buddy. 763 points. And Rostradamus, 761 points at 6th place. Me, I'm in 9th with 746 points. Tight race, man. What did I say? Deja Vu. The first place is now 53% ATS winner. Passed me up. And there's 4 of us at 52%. Crazy Thing 6, West Coast Martin, myself, and Big Pippin at 52% picks for the year. That's all the games. Congratulations to you guys. This is the last bye week for the week. This out of 16 teams, there will be 6 on byes. It'd be Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Washington Commanders. Next week will be the complete 16 games for the whole year. No byes, no more. There's only a handful of weeks left. I will try to tell you what's going on with the playoffs, and along with injuries and the stats. So that being said, let's get on with the show. My 4th pick of the week, my upset pick of the week, we got the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the New York Giants. New York Giants are a 7-point home dog. Giants 7-2 and ATS in the last 9 games, 4-1 ATS in the last 5 home games, but only 0-5-1 straight up in the last 6 games in the division. Not doing well in the division, but ATS-wise, a different story. Philadelphia is 11-1 straight up and 9-2 straight up against the Giants. Philly, you know, they like to win, but not so much ATS-wise. They're not a big ATS team, but they have did a few blowouts for the season. If they do win, they do clinch the division with a win or a tie. So for me, I got like do up, do down. As Philadelphia's on a 3-game win streak, and New York Giants are on a 2-game lose streak. And we got the Giants as the best ATS team for the season so far at 75%. So I like Philadelphia to win, but give me the New York Giants at home with 7 points. My 3rd pick of the week, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are a 4-point home favorite. Jacksonville 2 games back-to-back on the road. Jacksonville's 2-7 in their last 9 games. They also are 2-8 ATS against Tennessee and 1-19 straight up on the road. Not a great road team. Tennessee is 8-2 ATS in the last 10 games and 8-0 straight up in the last home games versus Jacksonville. So this is a divisional battle. So give me the Tennessee Titans -4. My 2nd pick of the week, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are a 3.5-point home favorite. Carolina's 5-1 ATS in the last 6 games, but 0-9 straight up on the road. Horrible road team. Seattle 4-2 ATS in the last 6 games and 5-2 straight up in the last 7. Seattle 1 game behind San Francisco. San Francisco just lost their quarterback with a foot injury. Hoping to catch up with them, take the division. Carolina is winless on the road. They just got rid of Baker Mayfield, and Darnold's going to be starting. I know Seattle's the number 2 public bet right now, but you know, not all public bets are losers. So give me the Seattle Seahawks -3.5. And my number 1 pick of the week, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers are a 3.5-point home favorite. Tampa Bay on a short week as they just played Monday night. San Francisco is on a 5-game winning streak. I know Jimmy Garoppolo is just a foot injury. I just mentioned that before. And it won't need surgery. He will be able to make it back at playoff times. They're thinking, they're hoping anyway. Brock Purdy will be playing. He's from Iowa State. Played 4 games and 2 TDs, 2 interceptions. But will be his first starting game. So San Francisco's 4-1 ATS in the last 5 games. Covered last week with Purdy. San Francisco 9-1 straight up in the last 10 games, 10 home games rather. But Tampa Bay, man, they just look so bad. Tampa Bay Bucks are 1-8-1 ATS in the last 10 games. 1-5-1 ATS against the NFC West. So I think Brady's, looking at his age, I know he did that comeback win on Monday night, which look, I think there's more of the Saints just letting their guard down. So, but for me, I think San Francisco, keep it on the ground and run right through Tampa, and they could even shut out the Bucs with that defense. So give me the San Francisco 49ers minus 3.5 points. All right, that is my picks. Now remember, there's 13 games this week, and 7 of them are divisional games. So a lot of divisional games, a lot of things can happen. You never know. But I try to get as much of an edge as I can with these games. But a lot of these ones I won't bet, and just strictly pool picks, I call them. So with this, I got the Thursday night football game. We got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to the LA Rams. Vegas Raiders are a 6-point road dog. Vegas, they're a 3-game win streak. The last 2 very impressive. I said last week, who are we going to get? The bad Raiders or the good Raiders? Obviously, we're getting the good Raiders. Rams, all kinds of injuries going on. Stafford's out, Kupp's out, Donald's out. And on a 6-game losing streak, I totally get why no one will buy the Rams. I'm surprised they kept in pace with the Seattle. I think Seattle just looked past them last week. And they won but didn't cover. And that was one of my picks. See the John Wolford be starting for the Rams. Now the Rams did pick up Baker Mayfield, so I don't think he'll be able to start. If he does, it'll be like a limited playbook. So keep an eye out for that. The Rams are 3-10-1 ATS in the last 14 games. Rams give the number 1 pick to Detroit. So make sure they lose the rest of the games, and we get a better, as a Lions fan, get a better pick. The Rams are also 1-4 in the division and 1-4 at home. The Rams are 1-4 at home, where the Raiders are 6-3 ATS in the last 9, and beat the Rams statistically in every category. So for me, I know 6 points might be a little too much, but Raiders looking pretty good. So give me the Las Vegas Raiders minus 6. Next to Sunday 1 p.m. games, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Detroit Lions. Minnesota Vikings are a 2.5-point road dog. Detroit 3rd straight home game, so keep that in mind. Detroit's 8-4 ATS with 5-2 ATS at home, so they play exceptionally well at home. I think we got 2 more home games for the rest of the year as well. Minnesota's 6-5-1 ATS in the last, and 2-1-1 ATS on the road. So good road team, good team all around. Obviously, they're winning the division. They're on a 2-game win streak. Minnesota will clinch the division with a win here, with a win or a tie. So, so that gives them something to look forward to. They just want to clinch the division, maybe sit some of their starters. You never know. But, they still got playoff implications as well. See how those play out. But the last 2 games played in Detroit, the winner has won by 2 games. So one was Detroit, one was Minnesota, and here the spread's 2.5. Imagine that. So I'd rather be taking the hook than, giving it. So give me the Vikings plus 2.5. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are a 2.5-point home team. Pittsburgh's on a 2-game win streak. They won back-to-back road games. That's pretty impressive. Now they get to come home, make it 3 in a row with injured Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson. He has a knee injury, and Tyler Huntley is going to be starting from Utah. In his NFL playing career, Tyler has 3 passing TDs, 5 interceptions with 3 rushing TDs. So he's a Lamar knockoff, I think. He's a similar style quarterback as Lamar. Kenny Pickett has 3 passing TDs with 8 interceptions and 3 rushing TDs as well. So, you know, not the greatest, but they've been keeping on the ground, and their defense been keeping them in games. Pittsburgh won the last 2 games at home, and Pittsburgh has a better ATS record at 6-5-1. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 2.5. Next, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland Browns are a 6-point road dog. Cleveland's won the last 2 games, and they are back-to-back road games right now. They actually got, pretty lucky with Houston. I had Houston with the points as a pool pick. Obviously, I'm not going to bet on that game. But yeah, they actually stuffed the Cleveland Browns. It's just their Cleveland Browns defense scored all their points for them. Cincinnati, like I said, both these teams are on a 2-game win streak. Cincinnati's 9-1 ATS in the last 10 games and 6-1 straight up in the last 7. Plus, they're 8-1 ATS in the last 9 home games. So everything looks great. I see a lot of people betting on, Cincinnati right now. But Cleveland has won the last 2 matchups in Cincinnati and 5-0 straight up in Ohio. So whether it's in Cleveland, whether it's in Cincinnati, they won the last 5 games. Deshaun Watson, I think he's going to be shaking off that rust. Remember last week I said, man, the guy hadn't played in 2 years. He's going to be very rusty. Anyway, just their defense played everything well. And so I think he, got some of that rust off, might play a little bit better. This week is a divisional game. So give me the Cleveland Browns plus 6. Next, we got the New York Jets traveling to the Buffalo Bills. The New York Jets are a 9-point road dog. Yeah, Jets back-to-back road games. Buffalo's 2-4 ATS in the last 6 games, but 8-1 straight up at the last 9 home games. The New York Jets are 6-3 ATS in the last 9 games, but 6-14 straight up on the road in the last 20. So they're keeping the games close. They've been covering the spreads, but just haven't been ultimately winning them. The New York Jets won at home this year versus Buffalo in week 9, 20-17. So do up, do down. Way too many points in a divisional game. It's 9. The Jets lost last week. Buffalo's won. So give me the New York Jets plus 9. Next, we got the Houston Texans traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. Houston Texans are a 17-point road dog. Biggest spread I've seen all year. Houston's a 7-game losing streak, and Dallas is on a 3-game winning streak. I've been picking Houston the last few weeks. I'm telling you, man, they just blow it for themselves, man. I keep saying, they just making less mistakes, or maybe they can keep this a game, but like last week, unbelievable. They just it was like 2 pick sixes and a fumble, a recovery for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Houston is 1-6 ATS in the last 7 games. Dallas 8-3 in the last 11 games. Game is played in Texas, so there's not much of a travel time as well. Last 2 games played was decided by 3 points historically between these 2 teams. And Houston, the worst team in football I've seen in a long time. I can't see many people, picking Houston on this. Like I said, this is going to be a strictly pool pick. Probably my number 1 confident point. But I can't lay 17 points. No matter what, I don't care how bad this team is, I'm going to take Houston plus 17. Next, we got the 4 o'clock game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Denver Broncos. Kansas City Chiefs are a 9-point favorite. Kansas City on back-to-back games. This is a divisional game as well. Kansas City has 13-game win streak on Denver. 13 games. So last time, 13 games they played, Kansas City's won. Kansas City's also won the last 7 times in Denver. The last time Denver has actually beat Kansas City Chiefs was in 2015, 31-24. 3 of the 7 games in Denver, that 9 points would have covered 43% of the time. Yeah, I'm trying to get as many stats as I can for you guys. Denver's 4-3 ATS as a dog this season, and Kansas City's 3-6-1 ATS as a favorite. so that's 57%. And if you take Denver chance to cover, it's 57%. So whether it's, you know, won 3 of the 7 games or 4 and 3 ATS wise, 57% Denver will cover. About the best odds you can get. But if Kansas City wins this game, they clinch the division, or they can go with that Chargers loss. So, but I think Kansas City will go in there and do what they have to do. They're not going to blow them out. They're just going to win the game, try to waste out the clock as much as they can. Denver defense, I think, will keep them close within that 9 points and keep it kind of close. So give me the Denver Broncos +9. Next, we got the Sunday night football game. We got the Miami Dolphins traveling to the LA Chargers. Miami Dolphins are a 3-point road favorite. Miami on back-to-back road games. They actually requested the schedule when it came out. They knew what teams they were going to play, and they wanted the California games to go back-to-back on the road. That way they can stay out in California and practice. So it's kind of smart. So they asked the schedule makers, give them those 2 games on the road back-to-back. They lost their first one. Will they lose their second one? Hard to say. Miami did play pretty bad. Tua, I should say, played pretty bad as a quarterback last week. Miami lost. San Francisco throwing 295 yards, 2 TDs, 2 interceptions, and 1 lost fumble. The Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert threw just as much, 335 yards with 1 TD, so they can keep up. This is going to be probably a big shootout game. Miami's 3-6 ATS, where the Chargers are 2-4 ATS. So neither one of these 2 teams are covering. Something's got to give. Both teams are identical in stats. Miami's 8-4, where the Chargers are 6-6. Record just straight up. This week, like I said, I'm going with Tua. I think he'll make less mistakes. Only 3 points. You know, the winner, even if they win by a field goal, I get a push. I'm making this a pool pick. It should be a great game to watch. So give me the Miami Dolphins -3. Last but not least, we got the ugliest Monday night football game of the history of man. Is the New England Patriots traveling to the Arizona Cardinals. New England Patriots are a 2-point favorited road team. Both teams are off a 2-game losing streak. New England 6-3 ATS in the last 9 games, and 7-1 ATS in the last 8 versus Arizona, and 4-1 ATS in Arizona itself. Arizona is 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games, and 3-7 versus the AFC East. Both teams have 13 players on the injured roster. This is going to be a very ugly game. But for me, I'm going with the better defense, which is the New England Patriots, the better coach, Bill Belichick, and the better ATS record this season. So give me the New England Patriots -2. Well, that about wraps it up. My 3-team teaser. Do not play. I am only 8% on these 3-team teasers, rather. Last week, so sad, man. I went 0-3 in all 3 legs last week. Unbelievable. That has to be the worst 3-team teaser ever. But anyway, just for, you know, fun and stats, I even played 5 3-team teasers last week, and I won on 2 of the 5. So it's hard to play those teasers this season. So 3-team teaser, I got Minnesota +9.5. I had the Baltimore Ravens +9.5 as well, and the Cleveland Browns +13. So I'm taking points. So there's a fast recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next week. Peace.